Hey, everyone, it's your girl, Jennifer Bianca Gantz. Listen, if this is your first time watching, make sure you do all the things that you need to do below, okay? So you don't miss anything that we have going on. This video is for my HRpreneurs. And one of the things that I love to do is to teach HR professionals how to turn their skills into a profitable business. Been doing that now for the past few years, been in business for the last 10, been full-time now for the last 4, and have realized a 6-figure HR consulting company, and to God be the glory. So today, I actually just want to go ahead and share with you all some encouragement regarding your genius zone. If any of you are watching this, you might find yourself being an HR generalist. There are many of you watching that, especially if you were in HR, if you old school HR like me, you know how to do a little bit of everything. Okay, you know how to do a little bit of everything, but because of that, right? Because of that, sometimes you find yourself knowing a whole lot or a whole little about a lot of stuff. Okay, and in business, it becomes really interesting because when someone asks you what you do, you might just want to go ahead and default to say HR. But for those of you that are offering services to companies, that are offering services to even individuals, you will find really quickly that not everybody understands what HR is. And that's just because it's just such a large field, right? So one of the things that, I've been just learning on my journey is that there's knowing how to do HR, and then there's also the business side of running an HR company. And somewhere in between, I have found out some of the things that I'm really great at. And I have found out that there are other areas that I'm not so good at. But it took me some time to identify, I got to laugh at myself, to identify the fact that the things that I wasn't good at, instead of me trying to beat myself up about me not being good in those things, that I needed to outsource them. I needed to delegate them. I just needed to stop doing it all together. I was steady trying to make something. I was trying to put square things into round holes. That's what I was trying to do. And it wasn't until I really had to kind of just take a look at myself and you know what? I call myself B when I do my self-talk. B. I'm like, listen, B, listen. This ain't your oil. You ain't got no oil on this. I recognize that my oil is teaching. My oil is training. My oil is coaching. My oil is strategy. My oil is not tactical. That ain't my oil. Can I do it? Yes. But just because you can do something doesn't necessarily mean that you're supposed to do it, right? So again, today I want to encourage you to tap into your oil, to tap into the very thing that you've been anointed to do. Now, am I saying that you won't have to do some things that you don't want to do or that you don't have any oil for? I'm not saying that at all, especially when you're in business, right? Sometimes you will find yourself in situations where you do have to do some things sometimes that you don't want to do. Well, you don't really have to, then you got options. There are definitely options. But I want you to make sure that you are clear about what you are, where your oil is, though, right? It's very important because as you grow to new levels, it's super important that you identify the areas that, hey, I don't have too much oil on here. I might need to collaborate with another HRpreneur. I don't have too much oil here. I might need to bring in a business coach. Hey, I don't have too much oil here. I'll give you a prime example. One of the things that I'm getting better at in the company is learning about business finances. Now, I know about a budget, I know about a household budget, but business finance is a completely different thing, especially when you start making some money in business. You got to understand what you can write off. Business expenses need to be business, personal need to be personal. And we just got a whole lot of, listen, I'm a mom of 5. We got a lot of things going on in my house, okay? So we need to make sure that we are doing things in decency and in order financially, right? And making sure that we're being good stewards over the income that we have. That's not an area that I had some oil on. And I don't necessarily know that I have oil on it, but I know that that's one of the areas that you can't be in business and not know your money and not know your dollars. You need to know that. You need to know, like, wait a minute, I collaborated with this person and we're charging this amount. I'm not making too much profit on this. We need to kind of step back and look, right? So again, I'm not naturally that person, but I understood that I needed to learn how to become better at that. But I knew that I'm not going to be the expert in that. So what do? We brought in some financial experts. We have somebody that's doing our tax strategy. We have somebody who's doing our taxes. We have somebody who's doing our bookkeeping, right? We have somebody that's helping us with financial planning and investments. You name it, with our children. So we brought in some people that know more than what we know, right? Even because we don't have the oil on it. So I want to encourage you that whenever you're watching this, whatever season you're in your HR business, you really want to identify where your oil is. Because if you don't have any oil, you're going to be very frustrated that things are not flowing. Oil is supposed to flow, right? Oil is supposed to flow, that you can show up and who you've been called to be as your optimum self, who God has purposed you to be. And you can shine and God can get the glory because you're showing up as your oily self. But when you are bogged down doing things, being things that you are not oiled for, somebody need to hashtag that. Are you oiled for this? Hello, somebody, right? When you are doing things that you are not necessarily oiled for, what ends up happening is that you don't necessarily exude the type of light that needs to be exuded into not only just the marketplace, but also to the world so God can get the glory. A lot of people ask me, how do you get clients? I had 2 people this past week, literally in just strategy conversations, because I'm walking in my gift zone. So I show up for strategy, and we have team members that love tactical, so they show up for tactical. So when we join forces together, baby, is beautiful. I show up with the strategy. Hey, did we think about X, Y, and Z? I'm like, no, but I thought about A, B, and C, and we just mix. But the feedback was, there was one person said to me, well, they actually said it to somebody else, and they ended up telling me afterwards that there is wisdom, that when I speak, it's like there's wisdom oozing out of my eyes, because, it was through Zoom. Then I had somebody else in another conversation doing handling an employee relations matter. And she's like, you are just called for this. I don't know if anybody, I know that sounds weird. And in the back of my mind, I was like, no, baby, you don't sound weird at all, because I know that I've been called to this, right? Because I just know that I've been called to this. But when she said it, it was just such a humbling thing. And I said it on the phone. I said, to God be the glory. And I told her that I appreciated her sharing that, for confirmation. Sometimes, the encourager needs encouragement, and everybody needs a little bit of confirmation now and then, right? So again, I want to encourage you to please, please, please take some time in your day, in your week. I know that life is so busy. Your planner is full, especially those of you, oh my goodness, God bless you. Those of you that are working full time and running your business at the same time, and you have other obligations, and those of you that are running your business full time, trust me, I'm right there with you. I know what the calendar looks like. I know what it can look like, but there is something so powerful about you seeking the face of the Father, of you seeking God's wisdom, so you can get the clarity about who you've been called to be, so that when you do your work, you show up with who you've been oiled to be. There's something magnificent about it. You will be surprised how you start attracting different types of clients. You start attracting different type of people because you are showing up with oil, with real oil, not fabricated oil, right? It's just something wonderful when somebody just has a natural glow, because it came from inside of them, versus somebody just putting Vaseline on their face. You like, you look a little shiny. Why are you looking so shiny? You're not gonna tell that person they looking oily. You're gonna say, why are you looking so shiny? But others, right? When something just their face could be so bright and that they could, but it's just a different type of glow. It's a different type of glow than when you put Vaseline. I know. Y'all know I'm corny though, right? Y'all know I'm corny. But putting Vaseline on your face and you exuding that natural glow is two different types of oils, is all I'm trying to say, right? So you want to make sure that you are showing up you in your authentic glow. And the only way that we can do that is by getting clarity from our Father, clarity from God. Listen, if you have not included God in your business, I encourage you to do so. One simple way that it looks like is by praying. You can simply just say, Father, this business is yours. There's a scripture that says, commit. I commit my when you commit your ways unto the Lord, he will establish your thoughts. He will establish your thoughts. So something that simple, just say, God, this is your business. Father, I commit my business to you. You gave me this idea. I believe that I'm called to this. So Father, I'm asking you right now that you would give me wisdom on what to do, that you would give me wisdom on the type of clients to serve, that you would give me wisdom on the type of services that I should offer. Father, would you just relinquish your perfect will for this company, for this business? Let me show me who I'm assigned to, that everything that I do would give you the glory. You could just do something just that simple, just inviting the Father into your company. You'll be surprised the type of things that start to happen. Start doing it little by little, little by little. Literally, I've even encouraged our recruitment team that whenever they are staffing for one of our clients, I've encouraged them to pray before they even make a phone call, to pray before they place an individual, pray before, before the applicant goes on the interview with the client, just to say a silent prayer for those that do pray, right? I've encouraged them to do so, acknowledging God in all of our ways, acknowledging him in all of our ways. That's how we get closer to what our genius zone is. We begin to recognize the things that we are naturally good at. But when we get to really work, really collaborate with God, really be led by God, my goodness, I'm telling you, the genius zone that you thought you had, the oil that you thought you had, man, I'm telling you, it just begins to multiply. So I hope that this was encouraging to you today. Know that there are going to be so many different things that you have to do as an HRpreneur, but there are certain areas that you are oiled for. So find out what those things are. Seek the Father's face and begin to do the things you're oiled for, and figure out how to outsource, delegate, or push to the side those other things so you can truly show up in all of your light and that God can get the glory. Until next time, everybody, don't forget to command your day.